What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this evening. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of technical analysis on what we saw on AMC today. Now, I know the price action was not at all what a lot of you guys wanted to see, but when you consider where we were trading a couple of weeks ago, right down here at $12.90 on March 14th, we are still up a gargantuan amount. Now, we're going to be looking at this retest that we saw today and kind of just see where we have to go going forward. In addition to this, we are going to be going over some of the Ortex data as well, because the securities lending market on AMC and on GameStop as well are both really heating up. We have the option chain to talk about as well, but some of the most important things that we're going to be covering are these margin requirement increases that we're seeing at a couple of different brokerages. The margin requirements are very, very key in basically kind of getting a look into when these institutions or any other maybe individual investors shorting AMC could be getting significant margin calls. And the last thing that we're going to cover is this one broker, Revolut, overseas, has been restricting the buying and selling of only AMC and GME. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And you guys have seen it in the live chats. People are making money hand over fist with our 1348 trading strategy that revolves around those 1348 EMA crossovers. If you do want access to the 500 alerts that we're alerting you on, the 500 stocks that we're alerting you on for free, make sure you check out the link to the Discord down below. If you do want to take it more seriously and really learn the strategy with 20 private live streams every single month and one-on-one trading sessions, make sure you check out the premium section as well. So when we're looking at AMC right here, we finished the day at $25.68, down about 12.77%. Not really what we wanted to see again. Now, when we look at the daily chart right here, we do have this 1348 crossover. We have a closing candle above the 200 EMA. Now we're coming down for a little bit of a retest. Right now, this 200 EMA is at, let's see, $25.36. In the after hours right now, we're down to 25.17, but it's kind of just flickering around that 200 EMA right here. If we can hold this price level and bounce right back up, right around this 200 EMA, that is going to be a very, very solid sign of strength, and we could be in for another leg up. Now, let's come over and take a little bit of a peek at the Ortex data. So AMC right now, still showing 100% utilization, but when you see the securities lending market getting this hot with so much volume, we see 6 million shares borrowed, 3.6 million return, 2.4 million net borrowed shares. Well, there's definitely more shares out there that these institutions can loan out that are showing up on the reported data. We have 2.93% average cost to borrow, which is starting to slowly trend up. But remember what I've been saying, the shares on loan do need to go up in order for us to see these cost to borrow increases. We are not at all-time high shares on loan yet. It's hit about 152, 155 million shares in the past. So there is still a little bit of a ways to go. We're sitting at 20.96% estimated short interest. But the key thing that I want you guys to look at is the difference between the shares on loan and the estimated shares sold short. 108 million versus 137 million. That's about 20 million shares, or about 30 million shares that these institutions can come out and use against us at any given time. And I believe that a lot of them were used on us today. Now, similar with GameStop over here, we have, 12.46% average cost to borrow, 22.86% estimated short interest. So again, both of these stocks very, very heavily shorted with very, very good short interest data coming behind it to back it up. Now, in addition to this, we do have to take a little bit of a look at the options chain over here. And when we look at Stonko Tracker, we do have SSR turned on, short sale restriction, which is essentially saying, yeah, you can't short the stock when it's going down. You can only short it when it's going up. But that's not really going to help us. We never really seen this help us in the past. So when we come down to take a look here at the amount of calls in the money, puts in the money, out of the money, we have 73,000 call contracts in the money, 175,000 out, 18,000 puts in the money, 152,000 out. Now, we have been talking about the potential for a gamma squeeze coming towards the end of this week or the beginning of next week. But with the price action that we've seen on Monday, in the first couple trading days of this week, we are going to need to see a little bit more of an increase in order to really get more call contracts in the money, more of these puts out of the money, to really see that double buying effect of the market makers kind of closing out the short-term short positions that they need to hedge the puts that they're selling, and buying shares in order to hedge the calls that are running in the money that these market makers have sold. Now, let's get into this margin requirement situation. So when we come over to this this first screenshot right here, this is going to be E-Trade. So this is as of March 30th. And we can see here that the long margin percentage is 100%, making margin relatively useless. The short percent margin, though, is 400%, meaning that this is essentially the leverage ratios that you can get if you want to take out a short position. So if you want to short $100 worth of AMC, you really need to put up about $400 or $500 worth of collateral in order to do this. But I know what a lot of people's responses are going to be with this. Is that, well, E-Trade, not a lot of these, or none of these big institutions are using E-Trade, or as we can see over here, Weeble's maintenance margin requirement right here is 200%. None of those big institutions are using E-Trade or Weeble to execute these transactions. Well, that is true, but when you think about the trends of what's kind of going on here, well, you see the stocks kind of running up, you see the cost of borrows going up as well, and there's a lot of really bullish sentiment kind of building behind these stocks. It only makes sense that across the board at any of these big prime broker institutions that they're going to up their margin requirements as well. Now, what does this lead to? Well, it leads to the higher percentage chance of a margin call happening, because if you're increasing the margin requirements on your clients and then the stock continues to go up, well, that's kind of like a double buy situation where your set price where you're going to get margin called is actually going to be lower. And if the price starts to go up even higher, it's going to be easier to get to those margin call numbers. Now, let's talk a little bit about this situation with Revolut and kind of what they're doing to their clients right now, because I think we need to shed some light on this. So this is a conversation with what has been going on with Revolut with one of their clients. So Revolut has restrictions on the purchase of AMC and GME stocks. These are the only two stocks that Revolut have purchase restrictions on. I am wondering if Revolut also has restrictions on the selling of these stocks. Thank you for your explanation, John. These restrictions are for both selling and purchase of these stocks. So they're essentially halted on the platform. Can you confirm that as of today, I can neither buy nor sell my AMC or GME shares? Hey there, my name is Tanya. Thanks for reaching out to us today. Please allow me a moment to familiarize myself with the concern. And then she says, yes, you understood correctly. Now, we've seen this happen a couple of times in the past with a couple of these overseas brokerages, one of them in particular, Trading 212, where if you did not want your shares to be loaned out, you essentially were marked position close only. You could not buy anymore. So we're starting to see some of these things start to kind of pick up again. We're only seeing these on these overseas brokerages right now. We're not seeing these on these US brokerages. But again, these types of situations should not be happening. The broker's job is to be able to facilitate these transactions. Same thing with these market makers. They should not have to short exempt into the market in order to provide the liquidity that they were supposed to do anyway. So again, guys, we're kind of at a point right now with AMC and GME where really anything could happen. We could see a little bit more of a sell-off before we start to bounce back up. But at the end of the day, what we're looking at here is overall positive momentum. There's a lot of buying pressure coming back into the stock. The volume has been on average much higher than it has been in the past couple of months. And those are really, really strong things to see. So let's see what happens by the end of this week. And that is really going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.